How you feeling, Queen?
Good. How are you?
All is well, all is well. Happy Women's Month.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Man, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you coming on the platform. It's definitely an honor. I've been checking out some of your records, and some of them I was already hip to. Some of my favorites you done featured on. For the viewers that may not recognize you or they may not know who you are, let them know what your name is and definitely where you from.
My name is Katt Rockell, singer-songwriter. I'm from the New York area, and I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I guess my next question is this. Coming from that area, how did you even get exposed to music?
So, to take it back a little bit, I am originally from Massachusetts, from Cape Cod, believe it or not. And for me, music kind of was always in the house, always. My parents were always playing gospel music because they were in a trio. They were in a trio in church. So they would drag me to their rehearsals and I'd be mad and I'd be like, oh my gosh, you couldn't play gospel music on Sundays. It was that kind of a thing because they were from the South. So, they really exposed me to a lot of gospel. Like I'm talking old school, back in the day, Shirley Caesar's older stuff and the Five Blind Boys, Mighty Clouds of Joy, that kind of stuff. So they're really, I have to say, I have to give them credit for exposing me to music at a very, honestly, for as long as I can remember.
Wow, that's truly amazing. Yeah, you definitely got to give it up for the church. A lot of people don't do that, but those were some of our first concerts, some of our first, times participating musically. And like you say, you got family that's doing music. That's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't realize it then, but now I'm like, I get it.
Right, right. My mother was like that. We go to church on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday.
Yeah. Junior choir, senior choir, prayer service, usher rehearsal. It was just all the time.
Right, right. But like you say, you appreciate it more as you get older. So I can ask you, like, now when did you really start participating?
So it's funny because I always used to like I used to perform in my room by myself, you know what I mean? And I noticed that when it came to like singing songs and being able to mimic the singers and the runs and stuff like that, I could always do that. But it wasn't until I got to high school and two of my cousins were in a group. They had formed a little high school group with another one of their high school friends. And one day I went along with them to practice because my mother needed someone to watch me. So I went with them that day. And they were at practice and they had a guy named Kenny. I forget Kenny's last name, but he was working with them, with their vocals and their dance steps and all that stuff. And he was like, man, we need another singer. We need a lead singer. He was like, do you sing? And I was sitting there with my glasses and I was like, just not really looking the part. But I was like, yeah, I sing. And he was like, sing something. So I sang something. He was like, you're the lead singer. And I was like, wait, what? So that's kind of how it happened, joining the group with my cousins, and it kind of went from there.
Oh wow, that's real cool. That's real cool. Now, following high school, did everybody continue to pursue it, or was it just only you? Or
So we stayed together, gosh, maybe for like 3 years, I'd say. And then and then I continued to pursue it, but then I wanted to go to school. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to school. So I ended up going to college. And then I was pursuing a solo career. And actually one of them is still in a group. She's in a group with her husband. They have a group and they still perform. And one of the other ones did go on to join another group, but he's doing something completely different in entertainment now. So I'm kind of, I never really strayed off of that path. I stayed on the path and, here I am.
okay, okay, cool. Now I can ask you, when do you feel like you got your first big break?
My first big break, gosh, It's kind of, you know what? It's kind of hard to say. It's not hard to say, but I still feel like I'm getting breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had a lot of successes in the music industry, but I'm still on my grind. You know what I mean? I'm still working towards becoming. It's not even necessarily a household name, but there are certain goals that I still have. You know what I mean? That I am trying to make come to fruition. But I'd say, geez, my first big break. Well, you know what? When I decided to go solo and I went to school, I was I ended up meeting a guy named Bobby who introduced me to another guy who was starting a record label who had funding, and I ended up signing to the label. It was an independent label. And that was the first time I had been exposed to like record companies, like going to New York and going to all the major labels and singing in the offices for people, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And actually being in an environment where, man, this person signed here and that person signed here. But it's been a lot of wins, and I don't like to call them small wins because I think that even the small wins, they're just as important as the big wins, you know what I mean? Because it's a part of the journey. But I think there's been so many small wins, whether it's working with this producer or being on a track with Rick Ross or Dave East or the Locks, having a top 5 record on the Billboard dance charts as a feature and a writer. It's been a lot of things like that, you know, throughout the years, just continuing to meet people, meeting Buddha the Future and Grants, who are my producers. They produce all of my solo stuff. Getting a publishing deal, meeting a manager and just kind of going for it and putting myself out there like, yo, well, I know you manage so-and-so, but I need a manager. And I ended up working with somebody that took me to all the publishing companies, and I ended up signing to BMG Publishing. So I'm a songwriter for them as well. So it's been a lot of little wins along the way, you know, and I'm still working towards a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But that's very inspiring because you've accomplished a lot. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, you got goals for yourself. You know, working with, like you say, somebody like a Rick Ross or the Lot. You know, that those are staples in hip hop. Those are people's favorite rappers in the world. You know, so that's definitely major.